So you've been thinking about selling your handmade goods online, but you are stuck between starting on Shopify and starting on Etsy. Which one should you choose? I'm going to answer that question in today's video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and here I talk about how to have a thriving and profitable handmade business. Today we're addressing one of those common questions that comes up over and over again. What platform should I use to start my handmade shop? Specifically, we're going to compare Shopify and Etsy. Now, if you are just starting out and you would like a little bit of help, you might like to check out my Setup Shop course, where I take you through a 30-day system that will teach you everything you need to do step by step to set up a stellar handmade shop for your goods, no matter what venue you use. You can find out more about that at createandthrive.com/setup shop. I run it live twice a year, and I'll tell you more about it at the end of the video. For now, let's get into comparing Etsy and Shopify. So let's start by really getting clear on what these two things are. They're not actually comparable, they are different things. So Etsy is a venue marketplace. So it's like Amazon or eBay or any of those places where lots of different people set up shop in one place. It's like a mall, basically, a handmade mall, except on the internet. And Shopify is simply a piece of software that allows you to set up your own standalone website. It doesn't attract customers. It doesn't have a search function. It's just a way of setting up your own standalone website. So Etsy is a venue and Shopify is a website builder. So there we have two different things completely. Let's now move on to price. Etsy, to get started, is incredibly affordable. 20 cents to list, that's 20 US cents to list a product. That's it. That's all you have to pay until you sell something. Shopify, on the other hand, you have to pay a monthly fee from the get-go, no matter what. I think it's about $30 may vary depending on where you are, and there are different levels. So that's like the basic level, and then you know the price goes up depending on the functionality and other aspects that you want for your website. Okay, so for just starting out, Etsy is definitely the more affordable option because the only money you're spending is that listing fee, and you literally don't spend anything else until you make a sale. Whereas on Shopify, you might be spending that money over and over again every single month, even if you're not making any money from your shop. Okay, so let's talk about versatility. Shopify definitely wins here. I mean, it's a website builder. It's going to have more options. If you're selling just on Etsy, you're very limited by the design of you can upload a banner, you can make sure your photos are nicely branded, you can upload some information about you, but it all is in the same format that it is for every other Etsy shop. You can't escape the Etsy branding. You can't escape the parts on the shop where they might direct your customers to other Etsy shops on the platform. Shopify, however, sky's the limit. You can design it to look any way you want. It's just for you. It's just your website, standalone, professional website. So when it comes to business branding, Shopify probably wins here because it looks more professional. Another thing is that, of course, with Shopify, you go to yourbusiness.com to get there. That being said, there is a trick here. If you do have an Etsy shop, you can set up that URL, yourbusiness.com, and redirect it so that it goes straight to your Etsy shop. Okay, so that's a nice way of making your web home look a little bit more professional while still using an Etsy shop if you want to do that. So that's a bit of a workaround for that whole URL situation. All right, so another thing that's really important, and this goes back to what I said at the beginning of the differences between the two. If you're selling on Shopify, you are 100% responsible for driving all your traffic to your website. Shopify is not helping you with that. They're not driving any traffic to your website because they're not a venue. Etsy, on the other hand, by being on Etsy, you automatically go in the draw. You go in to the ability to be searched by one of their 82 million active customers, and for your products to pop up in the search for anyone who goes to Etsy and looks for what you make. So by being on that platform, because it's a venue, you're taking advantage of the customers that Etsy has cultivated and brought to the platform, or the customers that other makers have cultivated and brought to the platform, who then go on to buy different things. So when it comes to built-in traffic, Etsy is definitely the winner here, because you're already positioning yourself in a place where you're going to get people seeing your work. Whereas with a standalone website, the chances of getting like just a random Google search landing on your site, especially at the beginning, is incredibly low, and you have to do a lot of work to make that possible. One final bugbear here that people might think about when it comes to the two different platforms is the level of support available. Etsy support, as of now, is notoriously unreliable. It's really hard to talk to a real person. Shopify apparently has much better support in place than Etsy at this point in time. Now, I am not a Shopify user, I am an Etsy user, so I can't tell you this from personal experience. This is just from the research that I've done, and it seems like the support on Shopify is a little bit more quick, a little bit more responsive, and is a little bit more helpful. Let's finally talk about scalability. If you are planning on building a big business with a lot of products, Shopify might be the way to go, because if you're selling a lot of stuff, you're paying that one monthly fee. Whereas on Etsy, your costs scale with the amount of sales that you make. So it gets more and more expensive as you sell more and more stuff. But you're selling more and more stuff, so hey, that's a good thing, right? So that might be something to consider as well, is that in the beginning, Etsy's probably more affordable, but as things change and shift and things get bigger and you sell more, Shopify might actually start to become more affordable at that point. Okay, so with those things being said, what do I recommend? If you're a beginner, Etsy. It's affordable, it's easy to use and simple, and it's a good training ground. You're not throwing money away at a business that's not making you any money. You only really have outlay if you make sales. If you're a well-established business that's perhaps been on Etsy or somewhere else and's making lots of sales, or you're on a different you're on a different type of software that is perhaps not working for you, then Shopify might be a really great choice for you to set up your standalone website. And my final thoughts are, of course, why not both? If you want to have an Etsy shop and you want to have your own standalone website, then you can have both of them. There's no reason why you can't. I mean, I have my own standalone site. It's not a Shopify site. It's a WordPress/WooCommerce site. And that's simply because I've been making WordPress sites since like the mid 2000s. So I was comfortable with that platform. I already had hosting and all that sort of stuff. So I've just stuck with what I know. But for newbies, I definitely recommend Shopify as a web site builder, because it is very user-friendly, has lots of support and lots of information out there about how to use it well. So yeah, if you're a handmade business and you're small and you want to stay small, then Etsy's a great choice for you. If you're a handmade business that wants to grow and have your own standalone professional website, then Shopify might be what you want. But honestly, why not have the best of both worlds and have your stuff on Etsy to take advantage of the traffic that comes through that platform, and also have your standalone site that you can send customers, boutiques if you want to sell wholesale, and all that sort of stuff too, so that you have that professional, safe home on the internet that no one can take away from you. Okay, so that's the final note, is that of course when you're selling on a venue like Etsy, there's always the risk that they can shut your shop because you don't own the platform, they do. So that's why I always say to people, yes, start on Etsy, great place, but as soon as you can afford it, I strongly recommend you set up your own standalone website, so you have that piece of internet real estate that you own and that nobody can take away from you. So I hope you found that one helpful. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you sell on Etsy? Do you sell on Shopify? Do you have both? Do you have neither? Why not? I would love to hear from you. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to join me for Setup Shop, that would be amazing. Over 1,300 makers have used Setup Shop to set up stellar online handmade shops for their goods. So the course has lessons every day, a live with me twice, and also of course the private Facebook group where all of the alumni and the current students work with me, and I put a prompt up there every day and then we talk about the day's lesson. So it's very interactive and you get a lot of support from me and the other students throughout the course, and it is very affordable as well. I work really hard to keep Setup Shop affordable so that as many makers as possible can take advantage of it and use it to set up their online shops. That's createandthrive.com/setup shop. I will put the link to that in the description below. And also, I have a workshop coming up soon on how to choose the right venue for the right platform for your handmade shop, kind of expanding on the stuff I've talked about today, and I'm going to talk about other options that are out there. And that's going to be in the Thrivers Circle, which is my membership community for makers. And you can check that out at thrivercircle.com. I do a live workshop in there every single month for the members, and we also do a live call and a live chat, and we have our forum, and there's like 40 plus in-depth video workshops in there already waiting for you. And of course, my Your Year to Thrive course, which is a year-long course that teaches you everything about starting and growing a successful handmade business, no matter where you want to sell. So you can find that at thrivercircle.com. Again, the link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like more about Etsy, check out this playlist. I have tons and tons of videos about Etsy that you might like to check out. So head on over there and have a scroll through that and see what might help you today. I'll be back again soon with another video, and bye for now.